Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CARTERMATT.com.
This is your Masked Singer, Episode 3 reaction. We are going to answer the question of who is the eagle within this video, and we will give you some more clues, guesses, spoilers, bad guesses, and a whole lot more.
Oh, I have a whole lot of those coming up.
Just you wait until we get to the penguin, where both of us fall on our face like that penguin gif of like the other penguin knocking it over. But before we do anything else, if you like this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Every week we will be back to discuss all things Masked Singer with all of you. Now, we got to start, I think, with the big pressing news.
Yes, of who is the eagle.
The eagle has landed, and it's Dr. Drew.
Yeah, it wasn't who I thought it was. The judges were kind of leaning towards someone who was a talk show host of some sort, or did interviews, and all that made a lot of sense. But with the rock and roll of it all, I was feeling the Howard Stern vibe. Very tall, lanky, kind of just, I was getting that vibe. I was shocked with the unmasking.
This brought me back to last season when it was revealed that Margaret Cho was on the show, and Ken Jeong was kind of like, I worked with her, and he was like really distraught that he wasn't able to guess it.
Yeah.
I have not worked with Dr. Drew. However, I have met Dr. Drew before. I spent like a couple of hours with him on a challenge on Beauty and the Geek a long time ago.
So you kind of worked with him.
Adjacent.
The show is a job, and he was doing a job, and you were doing a job, so you've worked with Drew.
Dr. Drew made fun of me for not being able to put on my headphones properly, which, by the way, you deserve to go first because of that, Dr. Drew. No, I'm joking. It's a joke. Okay, so Dr. Drew, I mean, I was surprised by it still, because when I was around Dr. Drew, and this was some off-camera stuff in addition to the stuff on camera, like, he was funny, but he was funny in kind of a sort of just sly sort of way. Like, his humor was very dry. He was professional, but he was very much kind of like, you know, the Family Guy. Nothing that was like altogether standoutish that he would be this big character on The Masked Singer. Because this guy was dancing around. He was doing the thing. This is what I love for all Masked Singer contestants. Move around the stage and make Nick Cannon visibly uncomfortable.
The moving around the stage actually for a while was giving me some David Hasselhoff kind of vibes, but it didn't fit with any of the clues. It was just sort of, it felt like kind of that showmanship feeling to it that for a minute I was kind of like, maybe it's him, but...
Yeah, if this was David Hasselhoff totally would have sung a David Hasselhoff song because he would not be able to help himself. But I kind of get where you're going with it. I mean, in terms of who I thought that this was, I did not think it was Dr. Drew. The thing with the clues in both that and also the voice, I kind of thought on some level it was Bill Nye the Science Guy because it was a really lanky sort of performer. He'd been around the block for a long time. I mean, the thing that was kind of throwing me was the radio dial they showed. I don't think of Bill Nye as a radio guy.
But he does have a lot of interesting sort of things that you don't expect from him, like he's a motorcycle guy.
Yeah, and I just thought, in general, I was having a hard time matching everything up because I was thinking, okay, somebody who's interviewed a lot of people, you know, Bill Nye has at least interviewed some people on his Netflix show. Somebody who has been around for a very long time, who kind of thinks that they're one of the cool people that hang out with rock stars. And Bill Nye is kind of like the rock star of science in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and he is.
This is me stretching this theory as far as humanly possible.
I see it happening. I'm just going to let you die on this hill.
Yeah, well, I can't die on this hill because I'm already dead. I'm wrong. But, like, it was just trying to figure out a way to make this work in a method that made some sort of sense. I mean, the thing that I think I was really kind of stuck on was that he was sort of talking about how he himself was some sort of brand. And that he was, like, really well known for what they were doing. And, you know, Bill Nye is a brand. Dr. Drew is a brand.
Yep.
The Adam Carolla guess, I think the judges They had some pretty good guesses, I feel like, in this episode.
Yeah, they did. There were some good guesses this episode.
Like, it did make sense for Adam Carolla. He has a podcast. He interviews a ton of people.
He feels like a guy who would put himself out there in a crazy kind of way.
Yeah, and Adam Carolla fits the patented Matt Carter reality show theory of if you've done one reality show, you are probably going to do a billion reality shows.
It's true.
So I thought it could be him. Only issue there was that it didn't sound like Adam Carolla. Adam Carolla's got that really distinct voice.
Yeah.
Did you think it actually sounded like Dr. Drew, though, when he was singing?
No.
I didn't either.
I just didn't. He was so far off my radar, I wouldn't have thought.
Well, here's the great thing about what Dr. Drew did. Not that it matters, because Dr. Drew's not a good enough singer to make it far on The Masked Singer, but I love that he did Meatloaf, because you can mask anything doing Meatloaf, because all you gotta do is, like, go down to that lower register, belt out some of... If I was on The Masked Singer, I would do Meatloaf.
I just love seeing people on this show that I do not expect to be on this show.
Yeah, it's
like,
true.
I know you've got your theory of if you've been on one reality show, you'll be on lots of them, and I know that Dr. Drew has done a bunch of kind of stuff, but this is something I never expected to ever see him doing.
Yeah.
And those are the types of personalities and singers that I really like to see on the show. Whether they're good singers or bad singers, when you take off that mask, like with Ninja, it was so obviously him. When he took off the eagle mask and it was Drew, I was seriously like... This is not happening. We gotta take this mask off again because this has got to be wrong.
There's someone else under the Dr. Drew mask.
Dr. Drew mask, and where's Howard Stern?
It's like a Scooby-Doo episode at this point.
That's what it was feeling like. That was a truly shocking one for me.
And it was, because, I mean, yeah, Dr. Drew has done reality TV, but he's always kind of been the host of it. He's not usually like a contestant. So that one was fun. Then we get into everyone else in this episode, and this is where the debate truly begins. Let's begin here with the flower.
Yeah, so when I first saw the package and I didn't hear the singing and I saw all the clues, I thought, and I'm going to butcher her name because I always do, is Mayim Bialik.
I think you got it.
Okay. And a little bit of it was on the nose because she was on Blossom and she's said the word Blossom a whole bunch of times, and she's a flower and she can sing and she's got a doctorate and she does all these different things that were, the package was saying, oh, she does this and she does this and she's tried all these different things, and so has Mayim. I'm saying it wrong now.
Mayim, though?
Yeah, Mayim. So I thought it was her for sure, and then I heard her singing, and it sounds like Patti LaBelle. I mean, I heard a little bit of raspiness in there, so maybe a little bit of Macy Gray. It was really hard to see that my choice of Blossom was totally destroyed. It's not her.
There is another sort of theory I'm going to introduce here, and it is the I want to work with this same network theory. And last season, Tori Spelling on The Masked Singer ends up being on Fox later that year with the 90210 reboot, revival, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah.
Mayim is developing a show with Fox right now, executive produced by Jim Parsons. Say goodbye to Coco Vanderwolf. But, so that is something that, it's interesting to me, and I think it's a fun guess because, you know, Blossom, it is kind of on the nose. But
but I've heard her sing, and it is not the same voice.
No, I mean, I really thought Patti LaBelle, from maybe the second or third line she was singing, mostly just because they mentioned something about culinary stuff in there, and I think Patti LaBelle's got a culinary connection. You know, they talked a lot about somebody who is very glamorous, always wants to wear makeup a lot of the time.
That was the thing that also threw me off with that clue, where I was like, for sure it's not my guess, because Mayim is not like that at all. She's not going to be high heels and has to have that going to the store. Someone, the person that I know that's always like that and has actually said that in interviews, and I didn't think about this until right now, but it doesn't sound like her either, is Dolly Parton. Yeah. She has actually said that in interviews, that she will high heels, makeup, hair all the time, that even when she was at home, at home with her man, relaxing, she would always still look good and wants to look good and would not be anywhere without her high heels. So now I'm on that train. It doesn't sound like her, but
Imagine if it is Dolly Parton, though. That would be crazy, because Dolly Parton never does any of this sort of stuff.
No, and I saw a lot of Tina Turners out there, and I could hear it a little bit as well, but Tina Turner's not going to do anything. No. She's just out in Switzerland living on a pile of money.
Here's a theory. They unmasked the flower, and it's like that episode.
It's Drew Pinsky!
It's like the episode of The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon is in his room and he has like the computer running around and it's Sheldon. Maybe it's a computer of Tina Turner underneath the flower mask. I mean, I don't get everything with Patti LaBelle. Like they talked about the doctorate. I don't know if Patti LaBelle has a doctorate anywhere.
I don't know, yeah.
The reality though to me is just that voice. It sounds like it's an older singer. It sounds like it's someone who is pretty soulful, and to me, there's just kind of a limited pool of people who would sort of fit everything that's in there. And I don't know that much about Patti LaBelle, to be totally honest. So I can't really be like, oh, I am for sure staking my flag on Patti LaBelle being the flower. But it's at least one that I think is going to give us some debate. And I think the flower may be around for a little while.
I think so.
Okay, let's talk now about my personal favorite mask of the entire season, no surprise to anyone, is the penguin. Oh, I thought I had my penguin nearby, but no. No, the penguin's not here. But anyway, I love the penguin costume. I love penguins in general. I love the personality of whoever is the penguin. I'm not going to live on island of delusion that the penguin is a good singer. They're an okay singer.
Yeah, but the penguin has something extra. When the penguin was going up against the eagle, there was just that extra. The penguin is willing to take it there.
Yeah, the penguin's going for it, and I appreciate the penguin going for it.
Yeah.
I also have no idea who the penguin is.
I have two guesses, but they're both probably wrong.
Okay. Well, who's going to give the crazy guess first, you or me?
Okay, I'll give my very first
they're all
crazy guess, which is that...
Drum roll, please.
The penguin's Hillary Clinton. And they did say earlier in the show that there is someone that's on the show who is a politician or has something to do with politics. And I know that there's another character, and I can't remember which one it is now, that has said that they've been around a lot of presidents. And maybe it's her as well, and she's playing everybody. But for this particular one, there was clues like, I'm not your secretary, and so she's not anymore, and that she feels like her career is over, and, you know, she lost the presidency, and there was all the marching, so she's obviously very political and stuff like that. And we know that she has a really good sense of humor. I know not everybody thinks that, but I think that because she went on Between Two Ferns, which is something that I never expected from her, to do something like that and poke fun at things that were so serious and actually do that. So can I see her going on here and letting loose and trying to do something like this? Yes, I can. She was also on Murphy Brown, so putting herself in the TV realm, something I could see her doing, but I know my guess is wrong.
When you're just fundamentally looking at the clues, I don't necessarily think it's a terrible guess, because there is evidence of stuff in here, like you said, politically active on some level, not a secretary, former Secretary of State. You know, there are some connections. People say, you know, she's not funny enough. She's not funny enough.
Yeah. She's not pretty enough. She's heard all that. So it just, the clues fit, but like, I don't know if she can sing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But do I think she would do this? Yeah, I do actually. I think she would.
Yeah, I have no idea if Hillary can sing. I don't know if Hillary is gonna like twerk up on the stage like the penguin did at the end of this. I did
not expect to see her on Between Two Ferns joking about those emails either. So after I saw that, I felt like Hillary will do anything.
This is the thing I most wonder, and I mean, I don't know the financials of any of this sort of stuff, and I don't know if Hillary is just sitting on so much money at this point in her life that she would do something like this at a really steep discount, because I mean, I know The Masked Singer was a hit for season 1. I don't know if we can afford hiring Hillary Clinton to come on our show hit, but it's an interesting guess. I mean, I'll admit this as somebody who really fundamentally, I have no great idea who this is, because I thought about a lot of different people. I mean, it feels like it might be a comedian because comedians are really the sort of people who would obviously care about people saying you're not funny enough. I mean, if you're an actress, I don't think people are going to, you're going to care that much if people say you're not funny. And so I was kind of leaning in that direction, and then I was thinking, okay, who is somebody who is kind of active in politics on some level, who has kind of a, the Penguin looks like they're very short. Yes. Who could that be? I mean, I was kind of leaning a little bit towards Wanda Sykes, but the problem there is that Wanda Sykes, I don't think her career is over. I think, she's more than fine. Okay, you said you had another guess, though?
Yeah, the other guess is Kathy Griffin, and that it fits all of those things except for the secretary thing. Yeah. Unless there was a role somewhere that I don't know about that she plays secretary, but she's marched, she's been in protest, she's political, she feels like her career is over, she's a comedian, people don't think she's funny, so that all fits as well. But again, I don't know if she can sing. Yeah,
I really don't know if she can sing either, but it does fit the reality show theory, former Celebrity Mole contestant Kathy Griffin, and it's been a little while since the controversy that sort of got her kicked off CNN and a lot of other places. Maybe this is sort of like a return to television for her in some sort of way, but it's a possibility. I think your guesses are better than my guesses for the Penguin.
My guesses are
You're
bad.
You're literally creative.
Clinton, although I didn't think I'd see Dr. Drew, so if that happens, now he has set the bar for people I do not expect.
I know. Well, what does the fox say? I'm going to use that at least like 3 times. Yeah. Sure you are welcome, everyone. The fox is here. Everyone say hello to Wayne Brady, who is this is the one I feel really good about, because for no other reason, 2 reasons. Number 1, Wayne Brady, really good performer. I have seen him on Whose Line a million times. I have seen him perform separate from Whose Line, just kind of doing his own thing. I feel like Wayne Brady always kind of wanted to have some sort of second career as like a singer who could go and perform and do music videos and be taken seriously doing that. It never really fully got off the ground. But number 2, he mentioned both Doogie Howser and Mrs. Doubtfire. He played Barney Stinson's brother on How I Met Your Mother, and he worked with Robin Williams on a couple episodes of Whose Line.
Yeah.
You're welcome, America. I'm good on this.
I think it's probably Wayne Brady, but I also think the thingamajig is also Wayne Brady. I think this is the big twist this season.
He's 2 different contestants.
2 different contestants. No, I think it could be him, but the clue that throws me off with this completely is all the talk about the comics, the superhero or supervillain or super something, very comic book. They had it all with the different tiles of a comic book and him talking about, I'm this by day and this by night, like a Batman or something. So my guess is...
You gotta get it out.
Jesse Eisenberg. And so he's playing Lex Luthor. We know that he's a superhero guy or supervillain guy, so he's in that realm. But the thing that people don't know about him or don't know him for is that he's trained as a singer, and he went through that when he was sort of going through, he was saying in an interview that this is something that he's very well trained in, and he never uses it. So, there's my guess. Jesse Eisenberg. Hillary Clinton, this is where I am with this show. This show has sent me to a place where my guesses are so all over the place because it's probably Wayne Brady. Those clues match up except for the superhero thing, but
the superhero thing is weird. I will give you that.
I just feel like with that particular package, they focus so much on that I was like, okay, it could be Jesse Eisenberg, could be Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman's the singer. He's also Wolverine. This stuff kind of matches up. Like, I feel like it's got to be someone who plays something in the superhero realm, whether you're a bad guy in Lex Luthor or you're towing the line like Wolverine, who's sometimes good and sometimes I don't know.
You want to hear me make one of the biggest stretches I've done in this entire video?
Okay. Stretch it further than Hillary Clinton.
Wayne Brady is the host of Let's Make a Deal on Daytime. And with that in mind, a lot of people show up on Let's Make a Deal in costumes to try to get his attention. Maybe he feels like he's a superhero, though, because he's actually helping these people make money. He is their hero. He saves the day for them. by sometimes giving them good deals. And what did they do? What is it called? Zonks on like the original Let's Make a Deal, where there's like a bear under behind one of the doors or something. I'm getting off track here, but I think, it's possible there's some sort of...
Matt, I don't know.
Okay,
where we've landed on this road.
The train stopped somewhere before it got to the station. It's still Wayne Brady. I do love the Fox costume, by the way, though. I think the Fox costume is really, really cool.
They're really cool. That penguin costume is really cool. They've done some incredible job. Like, it is just... The costumes were amazing last season, and it is the same level this season. I feel like... I know some people are like, oh, we stepped it up. No, these costumes all across the board, both seasons, are beyond anything I can imagine.
None of them... I don't like any of these as much as I did the monster, though. Just throwing that out there. It was just, the monster was just so adorable. He had like the one eye, and it was like a full body costume, so it was different. They've made it easier. They don't want anybody to die on the Masked Singer season 2 of a heat stroke. I don't know.
That flower costume is something else. I've never really seen anything like that on this show. They've said before this is the only costume that has a somewhat human face to it, but wow, what a crazy costume.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
All right. Well, we will conclude this video about the Masked Singer, but now we want to know from you guys. What are your predictions, your guesses? Don't give any spoilers, but let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this weird tour through the Masked Singer and possibly incorrect guesses. Yeah,
you come and tell me how wrong I am. I am absolutely here for it. I know my guesses are so off, so let's have it.
All right, and if you did enjoy this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us more and get a shirt like this one I'm wearing by checking out the link in the description to the CARTERMATT store, and we'll see you here next time.